The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. To achieve success, it is essential to foster habits that align with sound principles. Picture yourself in an unfamiliar foreign city for the first time. The streets are unknown to you, and the signs are written in a language you cannot comprehend. How will you navigate your way and reach your desired destination? You could ask a passerby for directions, receiving suggestions like "turn right" or "take this bus." While these tips may be helpful in the short term, you are likely to get lost again eventually. A more effective approach would be to acquire a map, right? With a clear representation of your surroundings, you can independently find your way time and time again. Similarly, navigating through life requires more than just isolated actions. It is significantly more beneficial to understand a set of unwavering guiding principles and consistently adhere to them. When Stephen Covey analyzed 200 years of self-help advice, he identified an intriguing pattern. He discovered that most advice followed one or two paradigms: the personality ethic and the character ethic. The personality ethic says that success stems from mastering a collection of tricks and techniques, suggesting that talking the right way or completing specific tasks will lead to achieving your goals. Although appealing, this advice often results in superficial changes that fail to create a profound impact. In contrast, the character ethic is founded on the belief that there are fundamental principles underlying success. These principles are not situation-specific, but rather represent deep, unalterable truths about the world. By aligning our inner character with these rules, we can attain enduring results. So, how does the character ethic manifest in real-life situations? For example, if you desire a happier marriage, the personality ethic might advise adopting a new communication style or taking a particular kind of vacation. However, the character ethic encourages self-improvement, urging you to become the type of person who maintains a healthy marriage by developing a character grounded in principles such as fairness, empathy, and trust. Naturally, this is more easily said than accomplished. If you aspire to cultivate an inner character founded on virtuous principles, you must alter the way you consistently perceive and engage with the world around you. In essence, embracing the character paradigm necessitates the development of wholesome habits. In the following sections, we will delve into these habits one by one. Assert proactive control over your reactions to the world. The question of what defines our individuality has long perplexed scientists, philosophers, and ordinary people alike. What constitutes the essence of you? Some contend that genetics, human evolution, and our DNA determine our lives. Others emphasize the role of our upbringing, asserting that our parents and the way we were raised are the most influential factors. Yet another group insists that our environment and immediate circumstances dictate our lives. However, none of these explanations is entirely satisfactory, as they all lean heavily on determinism, suggesting our lives are subject to external forces beyond our control. In contrast, highly effective individuals adopt a different approach, recognizing that while we cannot control everything, we can exert control over ourselves. This realization leads us to our first habit. A key distinction between humans and other animals is our capacity for self-awareness. Animals predominantly react to external stimuli in a predetermined manner, while humans possess the ability to pause, contemplate, and consciously decide on their response. Being proactive grants you the autonomy to engage with the world and shape your own destiny. For example, when confronted with an unexpected rainstorm during a picnic, you can choose to focus on the positive aspects. Instead of dwelling on the unfavorable weather, concentrate on cherishing the time spent with friends despite the downpour. This principle applies even in the direst situations. Take renowned psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, who endured World War II in a concentration camp. Although his captors controlled his external conditions, he recognized that he still held authority over his reactions. Instead of succumbing to despair, he envisioned a brighter future, teaching others how he survived the nightmare. This proactive attitude not only helped him persevere, but also shaped his subsequent career as an educator. With practice, you can also develop the ability to actively mold your response into any adversity. When faced with challenges at work or in your personal life, exercise caution in choosing your actions. Refrain from instantly yielding to your initial instincts. Rather, take a step back, analyze the underlying causes of the problem, and direct your efforts toward areas where you can make a positive impact. Initiate every task with a clear objective in mind. Engage in this somewhat disquieting mental exercise. Picture yourself 3 years in the future, having unfortunately passed away. As your friends, family, and colleagues gather for your funeral, each person delivers a eulogy. What would you like them to say about you? While it is difficult to contemplate, this exercise serves as a valuable lesson. It strips away the trivialities of daily life and brings your true priorities into focus, allowing you to concentrate on your relationships, achievements, and the legacy you wish to leave behind. As this sobering thought experiment demonstrates, considering your ultimate goals is crucial for organizing your life. This leads us to our second habit. Initiate every task with a clear objective in mind. Whenever you undertake an action, large or small, you essentially complete it twice. Prior to physically executing a task, you first envision it by forming a plan. These plans may range from quick, informal mental checklists to thorough, well-organized business strategies. Contemplating the future is vital for successfully navigating the present. For example, when constructing your dream house, it is prudent to create a blueprint before initiating the actual building process. Without a coherent vision of the final product, construction is likely to be a disorderly catastrophe, resulting in expensive errors, wasted resources, and ultimately dissatisfaction with the outcome. Applying this principle to short-term projects is relatively simple. In a professional context, it is always wise to plan your weekly schedule in advance and establish specific goals to achieve by each quarter's end. However, the true advantages of this habit emerge when planning for the long term. Envision your ideal life by crafting a personal mission statement. Engage in deep introspection and outline your aspirations, values, and definitions of success. Utilize this document to gauge your progress as a guide for making decisions. When you possess a clear understanding of your ultimate destination, it becomes significantly easier to stay on the right path. Prioritize by putting the first thing first. Picture yourself at the office on Monday morning at 9 o'clock sharp. The phone is ringing, the printer is jammed, and you have a report to write, a project plan to draft, and your boss is knocking at your door wanting to speak with you. How do you decide which task to tackle first? Even when you are aware of your goals, it can be challenging to determine the order in which to address them. This is where the third habit comes in play. Put the first things first. Or, in other words, prioritize tasks based on their urgency and importance. To do this, you can employ various time management techniques. Some people prefer making lists, while others advocate scheduling tasks in advance. However, the true key to working effectively lies in organizing your efforts according to priority, and for this, you can utilize a time management matrix. A time management matrix is a grid that categorizes your tasks based on two dimensions: urgency and importance. To create one, draw a 2x2 grid with 4 boxes on a piece of paper. The top left box, quadrant 1, is for urgent and important tasks, such as an unavoidable crisis. The top right box, quadrant 2, contains important but not urgent tasks, like long-term projects for building client relationships. The bottom left box, quadrant 3, is for urgent but less critical tasks, such as answering the phone. Lastly, the bottom right box, quadrant 4, is reserved for tasks that are neither urgent nor important, like playing solitaire. Once you have sorted your tasks in this manner, it becomes easier to determine where to direct your efforts. While quadrant 1 tasks are crucial, it is the tasks in quadrant 2 that warrant special attention. these tasks are often neglected because they do not seem as pressing. But if you do not engage with Quadrant 2 tasks, then everything will ultimately become an emergency, and that is not a strategy for long-term success. Pursue win-win scenarios whenever possible. Imagine you are at a championship football game. It is the final match of the season, and there can only be one winner, and that also means one loser. One team takes home the trophy, while the other goes home empty-handed, regardless of their performance. Fortunately, not all aspects of life operate like this, where one party must succeed at the expense of another. In fact, with collaborative thinking, many situations can lead to mutually beneficial outcomes. This is why effective people embrace a fourth habit: ensuring positive results for everyone involved. In our relationships, we often adopt certain paradigms that shape how we interact with others. For many, the prevailing paradigm is a win-lose worldview, where every exchange, personal, professional, or otherwise, is seen as a competition in which one person's gain means another's loss. While this paradigm may be useful in some contexts, it can be detrimental in others. It turns everything into a competition, transforming potential partners into adversaries and fostering distrust and discord. Eventually, this approach creates a situation where both parties lose. For instance, consider a sales team where only the top performers receive a bonus, while the rest get nothing. This win-lose arrangement encourages individuals to prioritize their own interests above all else, potentially leading to unscrupulous behavior, such as hiding leads or even sabotaging colleagues. The result? Lower overall sales. A win-win paradigm offers a better alternative. This perspective promotes collaboration over competition, seeking outcomes that benefit all parties involved. In the sales team example, this could involve awarding bonuses only when everyone achieves their individual sales targets. In this scenario, one person's success becomes a victory for the entire team, fostering communication, teamwork, and ultimately leading to increased sales and happier employees. How can you ensure that you are consistently pursuing win-win situations? Adopt an abundance mentality. This mindset does not view positive outcomes such as success, joy, fulfillment, or profits as scarce resources. Instead, it recognizes that there is always enough for everyone. When you acknowledge the abundance of value available, it becomes easier to seek collaborative ways to attain it. By embracing a win-win mentality, you will find that your most significant accomplishments arise from recognizing that everyone is part of the same team. This approach nurtures mutual respect, trust, and cooperation, leading to more harmonious relationships and greater overall success in both your personal and professional life. Cultivate deeper connections by genuinely understanding others. You are struggling to read words, consistently squinting, and unable to recognize a friend from a short distance away. It is time to visit the optometrist. Typically, these appointments involve reading letters off a chart while the doctor tests various lenses until finding the perfect one for you. But what if the optometrist simply handed you their glasses, saying, these worked for me, and they left it at that? Your vision would very likely remain blurry, and you'd likely have to seek a new optometrist. Although this scenario seems absurd, many people adopt a similar approach when communicating. They offer solutions without fully understanding the issue at hand. Highly effective individuals, however, practice a fifth habit. They listen before they speak. Effective communication lies at the core of meaningful relationships. Unfortunately, most people focus solely on enhancing their speaking skills, striving to be understood better. To truly foster personal connections, however, you must also seek to understand others. This requires learning to listen attentively. Active listening involves more than merely hearing. It requires genuinely grasping another person's thoughts and emotions. One powerful way to achieve this is through empathetic listening, which entails tuning into someone's intellectual and emotional perspectives. This approach involves not only paying attention to their words, but also uncovering the deeper sentiments underlying them. To practice empathetic listening, refrain from offering advice until you fully comprehend what the other person is conveying. Rather than responding to a story with your own experience, try to identify and articulate the emotion the speaker is expressing. This technique, known as reflecting, can be as simple as saying, "That sounds frustrating," or "You feel this is important." It keeps the conversation focused on the individual you are striving to understand. Empathetic listening is not a shortcut or a gimmick. It demands sincere interest in others, as well as time, effort, and practice to master. As you employ this approach, people will notice and appreciate your attentiveness, often reciprocating with empathy and respect. Over time, your relationships will become more open, fulfilling, and significant. Unlock the power of synergy by promoting open idea exchange. Imagine strolling through a rainforest, a thriving ecosystem teeming with life and beauty. What is it that makes this environment so vibrant and lush? Is it the birds in the trees? The ants on the ground? Perhaps the sunlight filtering through the canopy? In truth, no single element can be credited. It is the intricate web of interactions among various components that enables such ecosystems to flourish. Similarly, in human interactions, the whole often surpasses the sum of its parts. This phenomenon is called synergy, and highly effective people embrace its potential by cultivating the sixth habit: creating powerful synergies through fostering open idea exchange. Although synergy can be challenging to define, it essentially represents the collective force that arises when diverse individuals collaborate harmoniously. Each person possesses unique strengths and weaknesses. When people work together, they can reinforce one another's positive traits while compensating for their shortcomings, ultimately resulting in a more effective whole. Synergy can manifest in various contexts. Consider a classroom where many students are encouraged to interact and share ideas openly. Some students may pose thought-provoking questions, while others provide informative answers or share personal insights. Although the lesson plan may deviate, the learning experience becomes more enriching for everyone. To foster synergistic energy, it is essential to create an environment where everyone feels safe and respected. This entails implementing other habits, such as win-win thinking and empathetic listening. When these practices are applied, individuals are more inclined to exchange ideas, build on each other's contributions, and appreciate the diverse skills brought by others. David Lilienthal's experience at the Atomic Energy Commission in the United States after World War II exemplifies the power of synergy. Tasked with leading a group of highly skilled individuals, Lilienthal recognized that each expert held strong opinions that occasionally clashed with others. To address this, he scheduled weeks of group meetings, enabling each team member to express their hopes, fears, and reasons for being involved in the program. These open discussions cultivated an atmosphere of trust and understanding, ultimately fostering a highly creative and productive organizational culture. Just as a diverse and interconnected ecosystem supports and nourishes its many components, the most effective teams are those whose members connect, support, and learn from one another, where synergy is allowed to flourish. By promoting open exchange of ideas and establishing an environment of mutual respect, highly effective people unlocked the power of synergy, elevating the group's potential to achieve more than each individual could on their own. Allocate time for self-care and rejuvenation. Imagine yourself as a diligent lumberjack. Each day, you venture into the forest to fell trees. The first few fall easily with just a few swings. However, over time, you notice a concerning trend. Each tree takes more effort to bring down, and by the end of the week, toppling a single trunk consumes your entire afternoon. What went wrong? It is a simple oversight. While working tirelessly, you have neglected to maintain your tool. Your once sharp and efficient axe has become dull and ineffective. This allegory illustrates that even the most committed and hard-working individuals will eventually experience burnout if they do not take breaks. That is why the seventh and final habit of highly effective people emphasizes rest and rejuvenation. Make time for self-care. It is easy to become so engrossed in achieving your goals that you forget to nurture your own well-being. This can be detrimental because if you do not maintain a healthy body, mind, and spirit, your other productive habits will suffer. It is essential to regularly invest time and energy in revitalizing yourself across 4 distinct dimensions. First is the physical dimension. Prioritize your body's well-being through regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and sufficient sleep. Adopting these healthy habits will provide you with the stamina to perform optimally over the long term. The second dimension is spiritual. Renewing this aspect involves connecting with your inner self, values, and the world's beauty. Set aside daily moments for quiet reflection, prayer, or mindful meditation. Engaging in such practices will help you remain grounded and better equipped to face adversity. The third dimension is mental. Your brain, like your body, requires consistent stimulation. Stay mentally sharp by continuously learning new things. Develop new skills. Read diverse books, or try learning a foreign language. These pursuits enrich your life and keep you engaged with the world around you. The fourth and final dimension encompasses the social and emotional aspects of your life. Striving for efficiency doesn't mean sacrificing your social connections. On the contrary, it is vital to nurture both your personal and professional relationships. Regularly check in with loved ones, converse with colleagues, and spend quality time with your children. By committing to the renewal of each of these dimensions, you will continually reap the benefits. With this habit firmly established, you will consistently be prepared to act as an effective individual. Prioritizing self-care and rejuvenation ensures that you remain well-rounded, resilient, and capable of achieving your goals while maintaining a balanced lifestyle. This concludes The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey.